Hi, I'm Erin. Trees and shrubs in our corner of Wyoming are few and far between. Today, we work to change the landscape around our apple orchard with 2 rows of shrubs that, when mature, will help protect the apple trees from our extreme winter winds and cold on our Wyoming Life. Since we launched our channel a little over a year ago, we've gotten countless number of questions about where are all the trees. They're not here, that's for sure. Outside of our yard, which doesn't have mature trees, the number of trees on the ranch is very few. But if you drive an hour in almost any direction, you will find trees. Last May, when I planted the apple orchard, I also planted the beginnings of a shelter belt. 2 rows of fast-growing shrubs that will provide wind and snow protection. I watered them and everything was looking great. And then August happened. It got dry and very hot, and I got tied up with keeping the gardens in shape and alive, and the shelter belt didn't get watered as much as needed. I also never got around to putting drip irrigation in, so most of the shrubs died. That was my fault. So again, I need to plant the shelter belt. Some of the caraganas did survive. They're a very hardy shrub, and in a few years, I don't think that I'll be able to get rid of them, even if I try. I'm also planting service berries, or June berries. They are less drought tolerant than the caraganas, but they will produce a sweet blue edible fruit. Last year, we dug a trench for the shrubs to be planted in. This year, they will just be dug in by hand along the same trench line. Since some of the caraganas are still alive, we will leave them in place and just fill in the gaps. New bundles of shrubs were ordered from our local master gardener tree sale. Every year, they do a bare root tree sale, and the bundles contain 25 to 35 shrubs, and they look great. The process of planting the shrubs is pretty simple and very repetitive. The tools are simple: a shovel, a bucket with water to keep the trees in, some loose dirt, and a garden hose for water. A key point to remember when planting any tree is to not plant it too deep. Trees planted too deep will become stressed, as oxygen will actually be cut off from the root system. When digging out the trench, it's important to keep it shallow, and if it's too deep, soil can be added back in. It's also important to spread the roots out. Yes, ideally your hole should be a circle, but I ain't got time for that. And these trees will do just fine in the long run as long as the roots are spread out in both directions along the trench. Our sandy soil will allow the roots to spread in all directions very easily as they grow. I add soil around the shrub and press the soil until the shrub is able to stand up on its own. Then more soil can be added in to fill the trench, and then press down one more time by walking on it. Each shrub gets finished up with a nice drink of water from the hose. By using bare root trees, the planting process goes pretty quickly. The advantages of bare root trees are numerous. Bare root trees are grown in the dirt and dug while dormant, and the soil is shaken from their roots. Their roots have developed in a natural manner without a container constricting their growth. Shipping is cheaper, and shrubs and trees planted from bare root tend to adapt to the soil and climate conditions easier and perform better in the long run. The caragana shrub is a fast-growing shrub, often growing upwards of 3 feet in one growing season. It produces yellow flowers in the spring that will attract bees. It is also nitrogen fixing and will help pump more nitrogen into the soil. Once mature, it will create a solid hedge and provide a large amount of windbreak. The serviceberry is a little slower in its growth rate, but will still grow 1 to 2 feet every year. Bees and other pollinators will also enjoy its early spring blossoms, and if netted, edible berries can be used for fresh eating or canning in the fall. Its leaves will turn red or gold in the fall, giving us some beautiful color. As to why there's no trees here, it's due to our lack of consistent rainfall. I experienced that firsthand last summer when there was no rain and I slacked off on the watering of the newly planted shrubs. There's still more work to do out here. I will add some straw around the base of each shrub to help keep the soil moist in between waterings. And once I get all the garden veggies planted, I hope to put down some drip line. If drip doesn't get put down, the shrubs will need to be watered once a week. Because these shrubs do grow pretty quickly, it won't take long before we really start to see a difference in our landscape around the apple orchard. I can't wait until they are mature enough to bloom. I love spring flowers. Mike is going to have a very entertaining video for you on Sunday involving the cows and some Wyoming oddities. You won't want to miss it. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to before you leave. We have 3 videos every week exploring the ranch life and the market gardens and escaping the ordinary. And on Tuesday, we will show you the progress on the new high tunnel build. Summer is here and there's lots to see and do on Our Wyoming Life.